I am Harpreet Singh. I'm the founder of Expercoin, which is a protocol being designed to launch decentralized learning economies on the blockchain. These learning economies are being powered by artificial intelligence, and they have special features that we will discuss. Uh, but before I do that, I want to bring your attention to another company that our team here at Expercoin has built. This company is a separate entity called Experfy, and Experfy is also, like Expercoin, based in the Harvard Innovation Launch Lab. We are backed by Peter Diamandis, who is an important technologist in Silicon Valley. He's the chairman of XPRIZE, and numerous other individuals who are well known in this space. And the idea behind Experfy was that we wanted to address the skills gap, specifically in artificial intelligence. So we built an Uber for data science and emerging technologies so that any company looking for talent could do so on demand without spending a lot of time. And we've been very successful. We were a Gartner Cool Vendor last year, which is a rare honor given to only 3 or 4 companies every year. So our award was in machine learning and data science and machine learning specifically. And one important thing is you cannot apply to become a Gartner Cool Vendor. It is something that their analysts are looking at the whole space and saying, who are the pioneers in this space? So it was a great honor. In addition to that, we also have an upskilling platform where these 30,000 experts we have on Experfy are able to create courses that are relevant to their specific industries and use cases and launch those courses. And I'm going to go through this just to give you a sense of what that looks like. So if I go to the consulting marketplace first, this is what it looks like. We've got experts who are categorized by industry. So you could be a data scientist working in fintech or energy sector. We've got business function. So a data scientist could be in healthcare and working on cancer genetics, or an actuary working on certain kind of modeling and liability insurance, right? So could be any of these specializations. And then the third dimension is the technical function. So you could be a data scientist who is focused on machine learning, computer vision, natural language processing, or you could be in the blockchain space working on different areas of expertise. Then the last dimension is the technology and tools that we are seeing here. And these technology and tools are basically various vendors that have products and services. So for example, if I'm looking at big data and cloud, we've got various Amazon products or Google products or Hadoop products here. So this enables us, and so let's say you are Mayo Clinic and you come to us saying, oh, my industry is healthcare, I'm looking for someone who understands cancer genetics and cancer data, who is focused on predictive analytics using machine learning, and the tools and technology they use are Google's TensorFlow. Can you find me someone? So yes, that we were able to narrow down exactly the people, the 50 people who are experts who can do that. So just to give you a sense of what these profiles look like, they include the person's expertise, these 4 dimensions I mentioned, credentials, their work experience. So this person here worked for JP Morgan, or they have a PhD from MIT. So it depends on the background of the person. So now I want to quickly go over the demand side, where companies are coming to us many Fortune 500s like PwC that you see here. We have Deloitte. We have number of other larger companies also coming to us with specific requirements, and those requirements are posted with a budget of an hourly rate. So here it's 100 to 200 an hour, or they can come up with a aggregate budget that is going to be $20,000 to $25,000. It gets posted, and then our algorithm invites the most suited people. Like as I just showed you, we can look at the taxonomy, look at the text, do the analysis, and then invite the most qualified people. And these are the proposals. This project received 4 proposals so far. This has received 8. This one has received 16. So it really depends on what exactly the budget is, what exactly the work is, and how many people are available to do that work. Now, what does that look like? So this is a project posted by Gulf, the oil company. They're looking to modernize their 3,000 gas stations, and they're looking for customer analytics. How do you personalize offers to customers? So this project received 8 proposals, and you can see that the proposal comes in. Then I, as a client, can click on the schedule interview button if I like this person, and propose 3 times that are available, and then invitation goes out, and the person can accept one time, and then we do that scheduling on through this interface. So it's very convenient for the clients, for the experts to talk to each other. So that's something we've kind of built into the platform. The other thing we've built into the platform is the this idea of payments, defining milestones, and then rating system. You can share documents and so forth. So all of that is part of that. So that's the consulting side. Now I want to move to the training side. And the training side was conceived because companies are coming to us and saying, now that we've done this work, we want to train people in-house, upskill them in-house. How do we do that? So what differentiates our training offering from a Coursera, a Udacity, would be that those platforms, MOOCs, are focused on long-term training. They're focused on a semester-long courses that last 3-4 months, and they are generally covering foundational concepts. Whereas in our case, we are focused more on courses that are industry specific, focused on use cases, for example, blockchain for finance professionals, or introduction to diagnosing diseases with patient data. So if someone is trying to get started with how do I analyze patient data, and what implications it has on predictive analytics, how do I understand disease, this is a great course. It can be quickly taken, and you come up to speed. And so just to give you this example, blockchain for finance professionals, the course is only 1 hour and 24 minutes long, and that's the video time. And then this course covers blockchain technology generally, but then payments, it covers loans, it covers clearing and settlement for capital markets, and then it has quizzes and other ways of looking at the course, and then people can review it and so forth, just like any other platform. But one thing we've done differently is that we have made it very easy for instructors to come here and create these courses. So if I'm an instructor, I get an Instructor Dashboard, and I can click on this green button that says Create Course, and I get this kind of a form that I can fill out, and it's a wizard, and the wizard will ask me, is this online self-paced? Is it instructor-led online course? Is it instructor-led on-site in a classroom? And then I can basically upload content in a media library. I can define goals. I can define curriculum for the course, where I can have different modules and lectures under those modules, and then I can have other instructors I can invite. I can add an email address and invite someone else to join me in that course. And then there is a corporate dashboard. Companies don't want to pay one by one for each employee. they want to pay a lump sum, or they want to subscribe to this on a subscription basis. And this what dashboard you see is a lump sum payment someone made of $25,000, and then they can look at the statistics of who enrolled, the popular courses, user activity. They could add additional users to this. They could choose a spending limit of per user, per group, right? So it's very flexible. They can get reports, they can add courses to the course catalog, and so forth. So that's the corporate academy, we call this, so that the corporates can take advantage of this. Then a very important thing we've done is assessments, that you have to measure the skills gap. And if someone is trying to train for a particular skill, you have to see what the gaps are. So we make people take assessments, and these assessments, we've created many of these here. You can see various concepts related to artificial intelligence and big data. And if I were to look at this NoSQL, which is a type of a database, I can start an exam, and this exam will serve up different questions, and I can then answer them at the end. I get to see the results, see my skills gaps, and the idea is to then provide, using machine learning, provide a customized learning path, that these are the kind of things you need to learn to master the skill to really become good at this. And then finally, we have a mentorship platform that is going to provide a one-to-one or one-to-many video-based mentorship. It's a video-based call where you can ask the expert questions. And what's interesting is that you get billed by the minute, right? So if I'm looking for help in debugging a program I've written in Python or any other language, and I need an expert to work with me, share my screen, I can find them, schedule a time, and then they can look, do a video call, and they can look at my screen, and we can collaborate. And let's say the call only lasted 14 minutes, and they're going to charge the student 10 Expercoins or 20 Expercoins. They are going to be able to do that, and for each minute. So it's a very important concept, because what's happening in the learning world is that there are plenty of courses available, but not enough mentors. So this one-to-one interaction is very important. And I also want to pause to say that this is going to be our MVP, a minimal viable product, in which we are going to demonstrate to the world that how this technology is working on the blockchain. And this is going to be launched in July, and I'm going to show you the roadmap as well in a moment. So why are we doing this? What is the philosophy behind Expercoin? And the most important reason is that the world is moving toward a skill-based economy, where degrees are less important than skills. And there was a news recently that E&Y in London has declared that they are no longer going to look at or rather require a bachelor's degree for a job. So that's a very major shift for E&Y, a big for a company. And so this we are seeing more and more as artificial intelligence and automation takes away jobs, and there's a prediction that 50% of jobs are susceptible to automation, and so that's going to cause even a greater disruption in the world when it comes to education, because schools are not able to keep up with this degree of change. And so we are trying to provide an alternative by saying that let's create specialized learning communities. If I am focused on AI, then I can have a community like an Experfy on this platform, on the blockchain, that's decentralized. And then the reason why decentralization is important is, in that context, that Experfy is charging 50% commission on the courses that it delivers. But Expercoin can lower that fee to 5%, 7%, 8%, whatever we agree with based on the revenue of the republic. So these republics are marketplaces that are being launched. So depending on what kind of revenue that republic has, we can actually reduce the fee down to 5% from 50%. So it is a very big saving for the instructors who are trying to teach these courses, trying to earn a living, and trying to make the world a better place. That because we are great, generating great efficiencies through the blockchain, and I'll discuss that in a moment, what those efficiencies are and how they impact the business model. And the second thing that's happening is that the cost of education is out of control. Colleges are charging $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, especially in the US. And despite that, people are having a tough time finding a job after they graduate. And so for that reason, we really believe that this world has to embrace a new model of learning in which you combine education with training and skills-based training, and also hands-on work, apprenticeships, internships that are hands-on. And we can do that using AI, create simulated internships, and we'll use other tools like assessments and mentorships to ensure that people who are trying to learn something are really learning the right skill set. So let me now go down here to show you how this would be done. So you could be someone who wants to launch a republic. You can actually say, okay, I want to launch a learning marketplace and I want to launch a mentorship marketplace. These are the only two things I want to launch, and that's fine. And without a lot of technical expertise, you'll be able to launch a republic of your own, fully customized, and it gets branded with your own information. So for example, we are currently speaking with someone who is delivering education to the blind and visually challenged to create a republic. We have someone looking to create a republic for folks in the 401k financial planning space. We have another consulting company focused on soft skills and humanities looking to create a republic, and many others like that. So these are the different ways in which we can help entrepreneurs to launch their own republics. And these republics, as I shown you, come with these pillars. We've looked at the learning marketplace on Experfy. You can see that it exists. It's a working technology, albeit it's centralized. Same thing with the jobs marketplace, is already exists and is centralized on Experfy. The assessment platform is also there. The corporate academy I also showed you, and then the mentorship platform we are launching as an MVP. The only thing that doesn't exist in some shape or form is the peer-to-peer financing. And we are very excited about this because what this enables us to do is that if someone is looking to take a course and cannot afford it, they can go to the instructor and borrow that as a loan, the fee of the course, and then it gets paid back in cryptocurrency at a later date, and the instructor can charge an interest, and we are seeing that this world is moving toward peer-to-peer lending, peer-to-peer investments, right? So this is something very timely that we are introducing in this platform, and this will take time because it has to be done right. But eventually we will definitely launch this, and we are looking forward to that. So now in terms of the timeline, we've got a timeline where we describe the launch of Experfy in March of 2014. We raised $1.5 million from some of the leading investors in Silicon Valley at that time, and then clients like Deloitte and Macy's joined us, and then in the March of this year, we announced the launch of Expercoin and the token sale. And what we've planned for July is that by the end of July, we want the mentorship platform to be live as a minimum viable product so that the community out there that is interested in Expercoin can start experimenting with it, and that we will take the month of August to do that experimentation, and then at the end of August we will then launch the initial coin offering for Expercoin, and then in November we want to launch the first Republic, and this is again very ambitious, but we feel good about setting a date and a deadline, largely because we've already done this in a centralized fashion. Now is a matter of how do we replicate this on the blockchain, and then in February we want to launch a protocol and APIs that automate the creation of republics. So initially the launch will be somewhat manual, but then we want to start automating a lot of these functions so that non-technical folks can do this. And then in May of in 2019, we want to launch an app store so that our capabilities are not limited to these 6 pillars. If someone wants to add a new service, they can do so. If someone creates a more customized kind of a module or an app, they can add it on the app store, and then others can subscribe to it, buy it, whatever the model is going to be. We have a stellar team. So I'm based here, as I mentioned, in Boston. I have a PhD from Harvard, and I've been had a career on Wall Street before that, and have launched several companies in the process as an entrepreneur. Sarabjot Kaur is also an entrepreneur. She's my co-founder. Background at Citigroup, Fidelity, State Street. Jyoti Periyasamy is our head of AI, and he was the managing director for KPMG. He's currently a learning facilitator at MIT. Sergio Lerner he's a technical advisor to Expercoin. He is one of the leading minds when it comes to cryptography rather, and security. He was one of the early auditors of Bitcoin. He was on the Bitcoin Foundation. So if I have to think about who are the top 10 security experts in the world, his name would be there in my view. And so we have a team that is internal to us that is working on various solutions on the blockchain. So we have an internal team. We're not outsourcing our development to someone in the outside. And then you can see here Kaiser Wahab. He is a leading attorney, Columbia Law School adjunct professor. He's helping us with SEC compliance. We are doing this sale pursuant to SEC Regulation D and Regulation S. And then John Van Loo is helping us with tax compliance. He's a leading expert in this field of tax compliance. And then here are some of the investors and advisors to Experfy. So I want to make the distinction that Expercoin is a separate entity, Experfy is a separate entity, even though they share a common team. So Peter Diamandis, chairman of Experfy, and Tarun Khanna at Harvard Business School was an investor. Peter is also an advisor, but Tarun Khanna is an investor. Dan Sullivan's an investor, and Badr Jaffer is an investor. They're really well-known people. They have Wikipedia entries on themselves, on them. So we really lucky to have them. So now, what does the sale look like? We are raising $26.5 million. That's the hard cap. The pre-sale price is 20 cents. Sorry, 2 cents a token, not 20. 2 cents a token, EXPR. And then the ICO price will increase that to 2.5 cents a token. And so there is a discount of 20% if you are going to buy in the pre-sale. We have an allocation of 45% of the total tokens, the total amount is 2.75 billion tokens. 45% are being sold to purchasers, both in the pre-sale and crowd sale, and that's there's going to be an allocation for the company for reserves, and then there's an incentive pool, and then the allocation for advisors, and there are various lockups involved so that you can see that the team is committed. They're not going to be able to sell what they get until 12 months at all, and then there is vesting after that. So we want to make sure that everyone's committed to what we're doing here, and so that's really the overview. I would love to invite questions, see if there are any questions so far.